Welcome back to our channel. Today is Tuesday, a beautiful but slightly chaotic day, and honestly, I am running on 3 cups of stale coffee and pure soap opera adrenaline right now. We have so much to unpack today, so let's just dive right into the madness because this week on General Hospital is giving me actual heart palpitations, and I need to vent about it before I explode. So let's talk about Josslyn Jax, because wow, just wow. The writers are really putting her through the absolute ringer right now, and I am here for it. But I'm also genuinely terrified for her safety. We all know Josslyn has this total invincibility complex. She gets it straight from her mother. Carly is exactly the same way, always charging into danger without a second thought. But Josslyn has taken it to a whole new, terrifying level lately with this secret WSB agent storyline. And honestly, I kind of love it. I know some fans on social media have been complaining that it is super unrealistic for a college student to suddenly be this rogue spy running around Port Charles. But come on, you guys. Let's be real. This is Port Charles. We have weather machines, memory mapping, and evil twins running around. A college student joining the WSB is practically normal around here. But she is playing a very, very dangerous game right now. She has been finding clues left and right that point to Cesar Faison being back in town. Well, she is half right. Cesar Faison Jr. is back in Port Charles. Cassius, the evil twin. And just typing that name makes me miss the real Nathan West so much. It is so incredibly hard watching this guy wear sweet Nathan's face and do these terrible, manipulative things to the people we love. But Josslyn's Nancy Drew senses are tingling big time. She is out there connecting dots that even the seasoned professionals are missing. She found those trademark cigarillos on Ross Cullum when they were snowed in at Windermere. She found the copy of his book, The Crystalline Conspiracy. She knows something is deeply, fundamentally off about all of this. And she took that information straight to Valentine Cassadine, who's currently hiding out in Carly's attic. Which, side note, is still the wildest storyline ever, and I am so stressed about Jack Brennan finding out. Valentine completely freaked out when Josslyn told him about the book and the cigarillos, because Valentine knows exactly what that means. He knows Faison's sick obsession with Anna Devane and how that book ties into her current mental breakdown. But Valentine couldn't quite see the direct connection yet. He was missing a piece of the puzzle. He was holding the book and just shouting about how there's a connection he isn't seeing. But Josslyn is out there actively hunting for the missing pieces. She is not sitting around waiting for the answers to miraculously come to her. Which brings us to that incredibly tense scene at the gym. A few episodes ago, Josslyn and Nathan had this encounter after a workout, and Josslyn, being Josslyn, just couldn't help herself. She started fishing for information. She started asking Nathan all these pointed questions about his late father, Cesar Faison, and you guys, the shift in Cassius was absolutely terrifying. It was subtle, but it was definitely there. He dropped the sweet Nathan act so fast it gave me whiplash. He got super defensive. He wanted to know why she was so intensely curious about Faison. He tried to shut her down and told her to just let it go because Faison is dead and buried. But that was his big mistake. That was a slip-up that is going to cost him. Because if he was really Nathan West, he wouldn't have reacted like that. Nathan hated Faison, sure. But he wouldn't have gotten that weird, cold, calculating look in his eyes when a college girl asked a simple question. And Josslyn saw it. She saw the mask slip. She is a trained WSB agent now, even if she is a bit rogue and inexperienced. Her radar went off immediately. She knows Nathan isn't who he says he is. She might not have the name Cassius totally figured out yet, but she knows he is an imposter. She knows he's connected to the danger surrounding Cullum and Sidwell. But here is the twist that changes absolutely everything. Cassius knows about her now too. He seriously underestimated Josslyn Jax. He thought she was just this annoying, nosy college girl who watched too many true crime podcasts and asked too many questions. He didn't realize she was actually trained to take people like him down. But then his sister tipped him off, Britt Westbourne. Okay, we really need to pause and talk about Britt for a second because I am so conflicted. What on earth is Britt doing? I know she is in a terrible, impossible position right now. She is being ruthlessly blackmailed by Ross Cullum for her Huntington's medication. Cullum literally smashed vials of her life-saving medicine after he murdered Marco Rios. She is terrified for her life and her future. But tipping off Cassius about Josslyn's secret WSB status, that feels like a massive, unforgivable betrayal, especially because Britt saved Josslyn's life from the hook killer on the docks. Josslyn trusts Britt. Josslyn literally gave Britt a pass on all her recent shady behavior because of that lingering gratitude. And now Britt just handed Josslyn over to the wolves. I mean, maybe I am being too harsh. Britt probably thought she was protecting Josslyn in a weird way. Britt knows that Ross Cullum will absolutely kill Josslyn if he finds out she is part of the WSB. Cullum despises the WSB. So maybe Britt told Cassius, hoping that Cassius would just steer Josslyn away from the investigation to keep her off Cullum's radar. But still, it is messy. It is so messy. And it puts Josslyn in the direct line of fire of an evil twin who has zero moral compass. So now Cassius knows the truth. He knows he is up against a secret WSB agent who is actively investigating his family's legacy. And Cassius is not going to risk getting his cover blown. He has worked way too hard to infiltrate Port Charles to get close to Lulu Spencer, to fool Dante Falconeri and the entire PCPD. He is deeply embedded in Jen Sidwell's criminal operations. He is not going to let a 20-something girl ruin his father's grand plan just because she likes to play detective. And that brings us to the General Hospital spoilers for this week, which say that Cassius is going to drop the good guy act completely. He is going to get violent. And I am honestly shaking just thinking about it, because seeing Nathan's sweet, handsome face do something physically violent and menacing is going to seriously mess with my head. The fans are going to lose their minds on Twitter when this airs. Cassius is going to march right over to Josslyn's apartment. He is not going to wait for her to come to him at the gym or bump into her at Bobby's. He is taking the fight directly to her front door. And things are going to get physical. The spoilers say he is going to grab her arm and physically stop her from leaving her own apartment. He is going to restrain her. Just picture that scene for a minute. Josslyn is probably trying to kick him out, acting all tough and unbothered like she always does when she is confronted. She probably crosses her arms and gives him that classic Carly Corinthos glare, and Cassius just snaps. He grabs her arm hard. The fake Nathan mask falls off completely, leaving only Cassius. He is going to look her dead in the eye and admit that he knows she is a WSB agent. That is a massive, earth-shattering power shift. Up until now, Josslyn thought she had the upper hand because she was secretly investigating him from the shadows. Now she realizes he has been watching her too, and he knows her biggest, most dangerous secret. He is going to threaten her. He is going to insist he can't let her go and tell her to back off her investigation immediately. But here is where it gets really interesting. And this is where I second guess myself on how evil Cassius actually is in this specific moment. Is Cassius actually trying to hurt her? Or is he trying to save her life in his own twisted, aggressive, villainous way? Because let's look at the bigger picture here. Ross Cullum is the real monster in this specific equation right now. Cullum is the one who stabbed Marco Rios in cold blood. Cullum is the one holding Britt's life in his hands. And Cullum hates the WSB with a burning passion. If Cullum finds out that Josslyn is a WSB agent, he will kill her. He won't hesitate for a single second. He will wipe her off the map permanently. Cassius knows this. Britt knows this. So when Cassius grabs Josslyn's arm and tells her to stop being so nosy if she wants to stay alive, is it a threat or a desperate warning? Maybe it is a little bit of both. Cassius is a Faison after all. He doesn't know how to do anything nicely or gently. He uses fear, intimidation, and physical force as his primary communication tools. He might genuinely be warning her that Cullum will end her if she keeps digging into the Faison clues. But he is doing it by being absolutely terrifying himself, which completely defeats the purpose of trying to keep someone safe. But let's be real for a second. Anyone who has watched this show for more than 5 minutes knows exactly how Jax is going to react to being threatened and grabbed by a man in her own apartment. She is definitely not going to back down. She is not going to cower in a corner and cry. She is Carly's daughter through and through. You tell a Spencer or a Jax or a Corinthos not to do something, and they're going to do it 10 times harder just to spite you. It is in their DNA. After this heated violent exchange with Nathan Josslyn is going to be more determined than ever before. She is going to start searching for info like a woman possessed. She knows she hit a massive nerve. If Cassius is this desperate to scare her off, if he is willing to blow his nice guy cover just to threaten her, it means she is incredibly close to the truth. She is close to blowing this whole Nathan West charade wide open and exposing him to the entire town. But is she in over her head this time, honestly? Yes, I really think she is. I love Josslyn, I really do. But she is playing in the big leagues now, and she doesn't even fully realize it. This isn't Esme Prince leaving a phone in a cabin to frame someone. This isn't some petty college drama. This is Caesar Faison's dark legacy. This is international espionage, lethal WSB directors. Cold fusion prototypes and ruthless killers who stab people in law offices and cover it up without blinking. Cassius is incredibly dangerous. We haven't even seen the full extent of what he is capable of yet. He is playing a very long, very complex game for Jen Sidwell. He has managed to completely fool the woman who loved Nathan the most, Lulu Spencer. He is sleeping in her bed and living her life. He is deeply embedded in the PCPD investigations. He has endless resources, he has intense training, and he has the Phazon sociopathy running through his veins. He would absolutely take Josslyn out to keep his secret safe, if he felt he had no other choice to protect his mission. And what happens if he does try to take her out? Who is going to save her this time? Jason is currently locked up in a WSB black site in Jakarta, taking the fall for Rocco Falconeri shooting Cullum. Jason isn't here to swoop in and rescue her. Valentin Cassadine is stuck hiding in an attic, completely paralyzed by his own fugitive status. Dante Falconeri is running around trying to solve 3 different murder mysteries at once and has no idea his partner is an imposter. Josslyn is incredibly isolated right now. She is keeping her WSB status a total secret from her family, which means they don't even know the kind of extreme danger she is walking into every single day. I am so incredibly anxious to see how this plays out on our screens. Will Josslyn manage to outsmart him? Will she get a secret recording of him admitting who he is, or will Cassius make good on his physical threats? The writers have been building this up for weeks, dropping little breadcrumbs, and the tension is just off the charts right now. It definitely fits the show's usual style of putting the young heroines in impossible, life-threatening danger, but this feels so much different because of the Nathan factor. It feels so much more personal and tragic because we all love Nathan so much, and seeing his face used for evil is just heartbreaking. And I can't even begin to imagine the fallout when Lulu finally learns the truth. She is already fuming that Cassius told her about Rocco confessing to Britt. The cracks in their relationship are already starting to show. When she finds out she has been sharing a life with the evil twin of her dead husband, it is going to be the most devastating emotional fallout of the year. So what do you guys think about all this madness? Is Josslyn going to end up in the hospital, next to Cullum? Is Cassius going to completely lose control and do something he can't take back? I am going to be glued to my screen all week, overanalyzing every single look and line of dialogue. Let me know your thoughts, theories, and rants down below, because I seriously need to talk to someone about this before I lose my mind waiting for the next episode. Stay safe out there, Port Charles fans, because it is getting wild.